Hello, hello, my friends. My name is Jay Van Ostrand. I'm coming to you from Syracuse, New York. Today is day 2 for me of a 30-day challenge I've laid down for myself to get in front of the camera every day, share a little bit of myself, and hopefully add some value to your life as I share some of the insights and tips and observations that I've had on my road to success, as I've learned from some great mentors and gone through tons of trial and error on my own. Hope I can pass something along to you. That being said, today I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about goals and goal setting. You know, as I've learned from tons and tons of successful people over the years, successful people do things a little bit differently than the rest of society. Well, a lot differently than the rest of society, but mainly I'm talking about goals and goal setting here. You know, successful people, they have written goals. Without question, they have written, clearly defined, actionable, time-measured, positive, present tense sort of goals that they connect with on a daily basis and that drives their action steps throughout their daily experience. You know, to the extent that a lot of these people actually carry around a physical copy of the most important goals that they're trying to accomplish right in their pocket or in their briefcase, or have multiple copies at home and at work and wherever else that they may go in their daily experience, or at the very least carry around some sort of physical reminder to tie them back to their experience. One of my mentors, Mark Victor Hansen, told me to get a bracelet, and anytime that I'm losing track with my goals, to snap myself back to reality, get myself focused back on what I'm trying to accomplish, and it's helped me incredibly. You know, in terms of why are these goals important, I can't tell you specifically, but I do know that it activates your subconscious and your superconscious mind to start realigning things in your life so that you can start to achieve these things that you've committed yourself to. It's really quite an incredible process. You know, to that extent, there's a study I'm sure a lot of you have heard about over the years. It's, you know, been credited to a Yale study or a Harvard study or some study at a school over the years. That being said, I've done a little research in a book by Mark McCormick called What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School. He outlines a study that they did in 1979 at Harvard with some folks in their MBA program. And, you know, the guys that were coming out of that, guys and gals, I should say, that were coming out of that program in 1979, they asked them a question that said, have you set clear, written goals for your future, and have you made plans to accomplish them? Now, only 3% of the people in that class at Harvard had actually written down specific goals. About 13% had some goals in their mind that they hadn't actually written on paper, but, you know, some goals that they had worked out in their head that they were going to be striving for. And astonishingly, 84% of the people in the Harvard MBA class didn't have any goals beyond maybe, you know, having a good time that summer or partying or, you know, whatever you do after graduation. So they went back to those people 10 years later. And, you know, 10 years later, the 13% that had some goals but didn't really have them committed to paper, they found that within those 13%, they were making on average about twice as much as the 84% who had no goals. So twice as much. These are all Harvard graduates. Twice as much as the 84%. And that 3% that actually had written, clearly defined goals, they were making on average 10 times more than the other 97% combined. That's phenomenal. And you know, it didn't stop there. It wasn't just the amount of money that they were making. It was whatever measure of wealth or abundance that you might have. You know, they had better relationships. They had better health, more time freedom, right on down the line. However you would measure wealth or abundance, that 3% that had committed their goals to writing, had it across the board, all the way across the board. You know, and as long as I'm talking about Harvard studies, I heard about another one from a billionaire recently that I had never heard about before, and it really changed the way that I've been setting my goals, so I thought I'd share it with you. This man, like I said, he's one of the 25 richest people in the world, and I had a privileged opportunity to counsel with him, and he told me about a study that was done at the Harvard Medical School that said that people that do set goals, whether they're written or in your head or however you do it, that 70% of them actually miss their goals. You know, there's a psychological thing that, you know, a lot of us, you know, we've kind of set goals and not accomplished them in the past, so we, you know, when we set new goals, there's this thing in our subconscious mind that says, I know your track record with that, so I don't know how much attention I'm going to actually pay to what you're trying to do there. You know, so in addition to the study that the Harvard Medical School did on goals, they also had one that talked about promises. And they found that 98% of people that give promises actually follow through on them. You know, it means a lot more when you promise something to somebody. You know, if you promise your best friend that you're going to be at a certain place at a certain time, you're going to pick them up from the airport or whatever it is, chances are you're going to be there. And that's true of all your promises across the board. So what this billionaire told me to do was, whenever I was trying to set a goal, to replace the word goal with promise. You know, it's a subtle shift, but it's incredible how many more of my goals I've been accomplishing since they became promises to myself. You know, so I want to keep it short and to the point today. I don't want to go on forever. I want to leave you with that. You know, turn your goals into promises. Have goals in the first place. And if you're going to have them, they have to be written. It's not enough to have them in your head. They absolutely have to be written. So, you know, get out the paper and pen today and start making yourself some promises.